So now that we got all the payments for each user here, if we head back to our template, this is the PDF file that we'll be attaching. As you can see, we have a loop here that loops through all the payments for that user. So which means this variable here will be passing to our PDF, which will then be looped through to render each payment item here. But we can't just pass the result as it is like this. What we need to do is pass like the JSON object. So in this case, we're going to have to serialize this. And to do that, we'll just import serializer from Django. So it'll be from django.core.serializers, import serialize. And then we'll just go ahead and serialize this result. So let's do that. And then let's just print out the result here. So this will print out the payments for each user. Okay, so we just get all the payments for each user. And then let me just run this in my terminal. So payments for Joey, now we get an array of all the payments. So this is what we can then pass to the HTML file, which will be then converted into PDF. So we have the total payments. Then let's just open this template in VS Code so that we get all the variables. In my statement.html file, so the values that we need are statement date, statement number. So for statement number, we can just say, let's create the value here, statement number will just be the length of payments. And then statement date. So the statement date will be whenever the statement is actually going out. So we'll import datetime here as well. So from datetime, import datetime. And then for our statement date, we'll just say datetime dot now. And then the format will be, it will just be date, month, and year. That should be fine. Let's see what other variables do we have. So we have statement date. Cool, statement number. Now let's just fix that. Then customer name as well. Which will be user. Okay, thank you, GitHub Copilot, first name and last name. Then customer email will be user.email. Okay, and then if we scroll down, so we have payment date, and so payments, okay. So down here in my VS Code, we have the terminal. So these are the results from the print statement that I had earlier there. So to get the payment date, for example, here, for each object, we have model, and then we have fields, which actually contains the data that we'll be dealing with. So in this case, it will be, to get the date, it will be payment, then dot fields, and then dot date. And then this is just a Django date filter that I've added here. Okay, so that's cool. And then this will be the same for amount as well. So it will be payment dot fields dot amount. Then let's see what we have. And then we have total payments. Maybe let's create a value for that here as well. So total payments will be, so to get the total payment made by the user, I'll just run this filter once more, and then I'll use the Django aggregate function. If you're not familiar with aggregates, be sure to check them out in the Django documentation. Basically, I'm going to filter the results from here to get the sum of the payment field. So to do that, I'll just say aggregate, and then I'll say sum, and then the field that I'm looking to aggregate is the amount field. So if I just print all of this out, say statement number, so just to make things clear a bit, statement number, and this will be statement date, then total payments, and then you can also display the customer name, cool. Let me just clear this out, then run this once more. Okay, what does it say here? Sum is not defined. So let's just import sum here. So aggregates, and that will be from django.db.models.aggregates, and then import sum. Okay, that should fix that. And then let's just run it once more. Oops. So on line 30, we imported datetime here, not date. So it's supposed to be datetime. Sorry about that. Let's just run this once more. Okay, so let's see what we have. So for statement date, we have the date there, statement number is 5 for Joey. And then for Jane, statement number is 3, statement date is also 15th, and then here total amount is 700. Okay, so the data that we're getting is correct. Let me go ahead and clear this up. I'll just need to copy this because I'm going to use this in a bit. So clear. So total payments, total amount paid, and then we'll just paste this in. So this will give us the value of the amount paid, and then we can just print this out as well to see what the result is. Yeah, so we get the actual value now. Okay, so we're good there. And now what we can do is basically, oops, what did I do there? Okay. Yeah, so what I can do now, let's first start by sending out the email. So if I just open MailChimp, I should have downloaded this. Let me just head into templates, email template. So this is our email template, cool. Let's pass along the data that's required for this email template. So it's username and total payment as well. I'll also open this in VS Code. So it's email template and just replace the values. So here where it says total payments, I'll just replace that with total amount paid, and then username, I'll replace that with customer name. So this is the template that we generated using MailChimp. Okay, and then I can come back here and then I can just send the email. So our HTML message will take in the HTML file, which will be the email template, and then we'll pass along the data to our template. So in this case, it will just be customer name, the first one. And then next, we'll also pass, what was the other one? Total payments. And then that will be total amount paid. Oh, we left out the customer name there, sorry. Cool. So this is for just our email template, not the attachment that we'll be sending. And then this line here will just pass the data to our email template and then populate it accordingly. So instead of dear, this placeholder, this will be dear Joey. Please see attach your monthly statement. You have a total of, and then the amount. So let's just continue from here. The next step would be to generate our message, which will be email message, which we imported up here. And then this will take several parameters, the first one being the subject. So monthly statement will be the email subject. And then the actual message, which will be this HTML here that we just generated. And then lastly, the from email. And then the next parameter is an array of the emails that we're sending this email to. In this case, we'll use the customer email. Cool. So I'll get into this sender email in a bit. Let's just continue from here. Let's set our content subtype, which will be HTML, and then finally send our email. So the reason I've left out the sender email is that we haven't set up our email settings in our settings.py file. So I'm gonna use SendGrid, which will be my email host, and will allow me to actually send out the emails. So what we need to do, if we head into our settings.py file, I'll just add my email settings here. So email host. So I don't have any of these details set up yet, but I'll take you through that as well. And then we'll need an email port as well. And email host user, email host password, and email use TLS. So for my email settings, I'll use my Gmail account as the email sender. I was going to use SendGrid, but my account has been suspended. Another option you can go for is MailChimp. So if you'll be using Gmail, you'll need to enable your IMAP access in your Gmail settings. And to do that, head over to your Gmail account and then come under settings. And then in settings, click on see all settings. And then come on forwarding and pop /IMAP, and then ensure that you have IMAP enabled. And then once you're done, you can save changes. Now for the settings here, come over to this link. I'll share the link in the description, and then we'll need the details for our outgoing server here. So this will be our host. And then we'll select 587 for the port, and then user will be your email address, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just confirm. Yeah, so the username will be your email address, and then password would be your email password. Now, if you just use your email password and you don't have two-factor authentication enabled, it should work fine. But if you do have two-factor authentication enabled, what you might want to do is come to your account section here and then click on manage account, or manage account rather, and then come under security. And then here under security, come under app passwords, and then just sign in here. And then here we'll generate a new app password. So we'll just select mail, device, and then generate. And then we'll use this password. So go ahead and copy that. Then that should work fine. And then now let's go ahead and give this a shot. So first, let me log into my admin. And I'll just change this email address because this is the one I'm using to send. So I'll just change this to another email address. And then I'll also need to include the first name and last name because we're actually passing this to our template. So let me add that here. So just say hello, and then provide a surname as well. And save, and then we'll do the same for Jane as well. Maybe let's just change that email address in there, and first name Jane, last name Doe. And then save. And let's see what else do we have. Okay, let's give it a shot now and see if this works. Okay, so we seem to have a naming error here. Okay, let's just rename our template. We left out the P in template. So that should fix that. Let's give it another go. Okay, so no errors this time. Our email should have been sent. Let me just check my inbox. Okay, so we got the monthly statement for Jane Doe. So this is the email that we use for Jane. And then for Jalome, this is the one that we used. Let's see if the email came through. Okay, there it is as well. I see that we're missing the total payment here. So let's just see what's happening there. So this will be email template, total amount paid, or it has to be total payments. And then we can also just fix, let me just go up here. We can remove this as well. So this is the preview text that you get here. So this MC preview text, can just remove that. Okay. And then let's just give this another go. Okay, so we have the values there, we have the amounts, that's good. And what you can do as well, if you want to display this in currency format, I have a video on how you can go about doing that using custom template filters and tags. So if you're interested in that, you can check out that video. So I see here that the text still has not updated. We can leave that out for now. But yeah, so this is how you'd go about sending emails. I guess in the next tutorial, we'll add the attachments and then finally deploy to Heroku.